And how is everyone today? So we're home. Yay! The feeders are empty. The leaves are out on the trees. Though I planted a couple rows of peas, and I weeded some of a daylily garden bed.
You think it's safe to pull the trolley over the threshold?
Yeah. If you don't think so, then you could walk each one in. Maybe you were prompted that it's not a good idea. Good morning, Suze. I hear it's going to be 90 today in Kansas and everywhere. That's 30 here, which is very hot. So I'm having some soup. Oh, look, this is from Per Se. There's a hole in the rock up there. But you know what? I think that there was one that caved in. I don't know if it was that one or not. I drove by the grass hut, but I didn't go in. It's going to take some work to cut cattails and fill up that part that I had filled before I used them for the teepee on the back of Tish's swing. Yeah, we had to come home for a doctor's appointment, and then there's some church meetings that we need to attend. But so we're here for more than a day anyway. It's a pretty long drive. It's costing a lot of money to fill up my car. It used to be about $40 to fill up my car. That's what it was forever. Then it crept up toward 50, and now I don't know. Willem, how much did it cost to fill up the car yesterday? I'm sorry, it's not important. How much?
Yeah.
Hello, Elder. How much did it cost to fill up the car yesterday?
60 something, 62.
And how low was it?
About little under half.
A little under half.
Well, I mean,
Phew, okay.
the dial is little under half, but I
Right.
think it's considerable under half. Maybe a third or a quarter or something like that.
Whatever you think.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you sleep at night. You can leave the door open.
Okay. What do I do with my cup?
I'm not sure. I made some onions and that squash I like.
The cups are in the cups are in the house. But not yet in a sunroom.
Okay. We have honey now. We bought some honey. It's usually about $15 a kilogram. I think we paid $8.
So how many kilograms are in one of those buckets?
Let's see. How did we figure that out yet? 3.5 gallons was. Is that what's in it? It's 3.5 gallons?
I don't know.
$55 in Kansas with the tank on empty. Huh. You must have a fuel efficient car.
Are those buckets totally full, or how close to the top are they?
Yeah, there's 3.5 gallons in them, he said. So we figured it out yesterday, wasn't it? 16.3 liters?
3.5, 7, 14 gallons all in total. And it would be Canadian gallons or the US gallons, did they say?
Probably Canadian.
Okay, so it is 14 gallons times 4.5,
So say 5.
So 4.5, no, 14 gallons, 4.5 is the same as 7 to 9, 63 liters.
63 liters for $100.
Yeah,
125.
yeah, 63 were 185, so 50 cents.
So $5. What?
Yeah, $5 a liter, I guess.
$5 a liter. We tried to figure out how many kilograms of honey are in a liter. Is it 1 kilogram?
It's hard to tell because it is much heavier than water. But not how much heavier, I don't know. There's a lot of sugar dissolved in this, so we can, if we had our weigh scale back, we could weigh it.
That would make it a lot simpler. Just weigh it.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you did our mission in September, we can bring the weigh scale back and then we can figure it out.
Anyway, it's not $15 a kilogram anyway. I would say there's 2 kilograms in a liter. How many liters are there in it?
What did you figure out?
What's wrong with your memory now? Mine, it's a given that I don't remember anything.
I didn't really make any money. I didn't really have any interest in knowing how much it is.
I was trying to figure out how much we paid for it. $1.25 for 3.5 gallons is how many kilograms? Or how much per kilogram?
I don't know how much a kilogram is going. How much kilogram a liter or a gallon or whatever that stuff it weighs.
So how would we ask Google? We'd say, how much does a kilogram of honey weigh?
What is the specific gravity of
No.
honey? That's probably the
Oh,
correct
the
way of saying
specific gravity. Ooh. Well, this is beyond my expertise. The
it. Is it
specific gravity of
grams
honey.
per liter or kilograms per kilo or grams per kilograms per liter. Yeah.
So what would the whole question be?
What is the typical specific gravity of honey?
Okay, Google. Where are you? I don't even know where she is anymore. This one keeps turning on every time we sit down. So I've been planting a little bit in the garden and weeding some weeds, some grass out. I made a good dent in that bed of grass, and I planted 2 short rows of peas. That's the beginning. So I'm going to use seed tape carrots. And I'll put them right there beside the peas. Carrots don't frost, do they? I don't have any beet seeds. Beets are good. They're a little hard. It's so nice out here. It's so nice to be home. We live in this beautiful house with this huge deck. Oh yes, and the what's their names? The Phoebes. They finished building their house. Good morning, Susan. Good morning. I'm not sure who's here. It's Suze, I think. Suze and Susan. There's 2 more people here. 1 thumbs up, so the other 3 are not common. Suze was the thumbs up, you can be sure. It's a beautiful day. It smells nice. I don't think our apple trees and pear tree flowered this year. I think they had a really hard time the last couple of years. They had to put out their leaves twice last year because of those gypsy moths, which are everywhere, but I haven't seen. We should wander around our place looking for them. But you know, they're not necessarily near the ground. They can be anywhere in the whole story.
And it could be 20 feet up or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And how much of it are you going to get?
What a beautiful day. This Phoebe nest is very big. It's about this big. I'll show it to you in a minute. It's very nice. So will you tune my violin for me again?
Sure.
That's why I keep him around. He's my violin tuner.
That's how I earn my keep.
That's how he earns his keep. So my grandson has got a PD day today, so that means I could play with him. It does look bright and sunny here, and I do have someone to water my garden.
So what's going on here?
Well, you have to go the right direction. Just make sure you're going the right direction.
No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to force this. This is.
You can see that it's out of joint. Just pull the top, pull the lid so the lid is back in place. You know, like if you were going to fix the situation. There you go.
Look at that.
Amazing how easy it is when you know how.
Alrighty then.
Here it comes. The violining is beginning.
Still pretty good. There you go.
Wow, this is cool. I'm going to get to play. May I have a violin bow, please?
Like,
The new fat one, the one on the top.
what at the top?
Well, the new fat one. See one
This one
skinny?
here?
Yeah, but be careful. Turn that little handle and don't catch any strings. There we go. You did it. Did it, did it, did it, did it.
Okay, well, serenade us then, darling.
All right, darling. What was the piece I was working on the other day? I'm going to put this right here. There we go. Oh, almost okay. Just pull it back and down a little more. There you go. Let the serenading begin. Wonder if I have enough stuff on this. I need some rosin, if you don't mind. It's in the little flap there with my toenail clippers. That's
Yeah,
where I
of
keep
course.
my toenail clippers. Then I will always know they're mine. Isn't that great?
Fair enough.
Hey, you know what? I was studying my face in the mirror, which probably is a really bad choice of activities. But I was studying it, and I see I have these little, Willem, I have these little dents right here
Mm-hmm.
from wearing my face like this.
Hmm.
So I should wear my face like this, but I think it's too late now. I think the evidence is already in. The evidence is that I don't grin all that much. I do when I'm talking to you guys because you're my friends. I don't the rest of the time.
Well, sometimes you grin when you're with me.
Good. I think it's that having that human contact that makes a difference. Even if it's only in my mind. That's the sound of the orchestra before they start.
That's right.
It's the beginning of every song. Did you see the little video Ben made and put on our family page?
No.
He saw an interesting visitor. It was a coyote. I guess it was walking between the, I don't know which way it would have been going, but it was caught by his bird camera, so it must be walking across the backyard.
Hmm.
Or maybe it was up on the road and you could see it through the houses. I don't know, but it was a coyote. Maybe it was a fox, but I'm pretty sure it was a coyote. Interesting, eh? They have them in Ottawa. Okay, any questions?
Um.
I want you to take that down for me. Would you take that down for me? Can you
What?
take that bird feeder down?
Yes.
Just lift the bottom and take it over the wire hook.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I will go and
Get something done.
oh, just do the cover some of the buckets.
See, I have to put the buckets in the house. Okay. That was, there's a hole in the bucket, just in case you weren't familiar with that one. And we have doctor's appointments in a couple of hours, but we are on Wi-Fi now because we're home. I live in such an amazing place. I am not deserving of all the blessings that I have. My goodness. Just ask my kids. Oh. Well, you know what? I think it was last year I told my son, or maybe it was a couple years ago, maybe it was even before the pandemic. I said that, you know, my mom died when she was 88. I'm 66, so I've got about 22 years left. So that's 22 summers. Of course, people my age keep dropping off like flies. Like, what's with that? Trying to mess up the whole skewing of things. However, maybe they're the young ones that are dying. We're passing all the young ones that die. Then we'll get to the medium ones that die, and then we'll be with the old ones that stick around. Well, if I'm going to be around 22 more years, I certainly hope I'm not in this much pain. You know, I don't know. It's not, is it a bad thing to think that when he takes me, I'm ready? Can you imagine a whole day without pain? I guess most everybody our age deals with that, eh? I think all the things that we've eaten for all this time are catching up with us. I figured at one point that you're allowed a certain amount of milk in your lifetime, and then after you've passed that threshold of milk, it'll just go to your joints and make everything hurt. Hi, hi, little guy. Would you like me to fill up your feeder? All right. There was a lot of them here singing this morning. Oh, it's so good just to be home. There's a lot of work, you know. There's a lot of responsibility. All these things that need to be done before the campers get there. if it was me here at home, I wouldn't do them. But I have to do them there because it's not my camp. I like a wilderness place that all just looks like wilderness. But it does look really beautiful when you mow everything and you make all the entrance trails really beautiful. It doesn't look like you're in the wilderness, but it's pretty. So I gotta get my head in gear to do that. There's a bluebird. I used to be a campfire girl. Was anybody else a campfire girl? Campfire Girls was really nice. I don't remember anything about it except that I was in there, and it was when I lived in New Jersey, and we moved when I was let's see, you're 6 years old in grade 1 and you're 7 in grade 2, and I started grade 3 in the fall. We moved in July or June, 4th of June I think, right after school was out, right? We loaded up the truck and we moved to Oconee. I think that tree wants the wood taken off of it. It's not getting enough water. I don't want it to die under there. I want it to live. I want it to live. Music alone shall live, never to die. All things shall perish from children is so different now than it was when we were young. You know, I bet most of you went to Girl Scouts. If you're Americans, anyway, right? Most of you went to Girl Scouts and we learned all these songs, but now the girls and the boys are in Scouts together, and I'm not sure exactly why, but the church broke off their connections with the scouting program. It was for young men. They would use it. All the young men were in Scouts, and that was their activity. The young women had young women's, and they would get together every week and do things, but the young men had Scouts, and they would go on to be Eagle Scouts, and the church was the biggest supporter of the scouting program. So when they left, it took a whole chunk of their funding, most of their funding, because every unit all over the world sent the young men to Scouts. And they had their own scouting program within the church, so they would be Scouts on Thursday night at the chapel. So you had a scout leader who was from your congregation, your branch, your ward. Little ones are a branch. Big ones are a ward. So we're in a branch because it's little. Anyway, so the youth always went there. But I remember Scout camp. I went to camp for 3 years. And it wasn't a lot, but it really impacted my whole life. So if you have a grandchild and you have a chance to send them to camp, as long as it's safe, as long as there's not pedophiles there, like, I don't know, is it safe for children to go to camp anymore? What is safe? This is such a strange world out there. People taking guns to school. Like, what a world. Why? So strange. It's all gone way downhill, hasn't it? Used to be, people didn't need things like that. People had things to do. They had gardens to take care of and animals to take care of, and when their time was full and they sat around and they read the scriptures because that was their only book. And they had their horses and it was a different life. It was not simpler. It had less things, but it was difficult. I think at the end of the day you're probably in pain. It was hard work. But you worked together with your family members. You all did chores together. You knew which chores were yours and you all worked together. Now we've all got separate rooms and separate houses. Well, not, kids growing up, they're all in their separate rooms, and when they go to school, they're only with kids their age. Nobody else. They're not with the whole gamut of kids. Just the kids their age, and so they really don't get to know anything about kids older or younger, except what they see on TV, which, or Netflix or whatever people are watching, the Disney Channel. Yes, remember when Disney was really clean? You could really be sure that you could watch Disney till the cows came home, even if you didn't have cows. And it was always going to be nice, clean. I guess it was animated. Most of it was animated. And then at some point they started doing animal shows in there. So like stuff like Lassie. Not exactly Lassie, but lots of shows that had animals in them, and the focus was the animal. But now the Disney Channel has Castle on it. Castle, I really like Castle, but it's pretty gruesome. And, it's the real underbelly of society, right? The people that have very bad morals or have no interest in other people, dealing with those people. Like, I don't see those people on a regular basis. Never. They're not in my life. They're not at the grocery store. They're not at the gas station. They're not home. That's about my world, right? Church, the gas station, the grocery store, the dollar store, maybe the drugstore. Not very often, though. Thank goodness. Because if you've got your health, you can do anything, right? You can do anything. Like, I could play this song. Let's see if I can do that. I'll just try harder. All things shall perish from under the sky. Music, sorry. Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live, never to die. I think it's something similar. I just practiced this. You'd think I have it. to do that one again, don't we? La 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 la. You know, I've never played this before, right? This is the unfolding of a song from my brain onto this violin. And this is the key. This is my magic. Finding those notes, playing them for the length. You know, this is just to be acted upon. This is the actor. This is in leadership position. Oh my gosh, that is so good. You know, I think that's the horse chestnut. That little tree Frank grew. Did you see it? Did I take you with me? You know Frank, right? Frank's the one with the sled dogs, and he pulls his sled and he goes over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. The dogs know the way to carry the sleigh in the white and drifting snow. Over the river and through the woods, oh how the wind doth blow. It bites his nose and it something and freezes his toes. Bites his nose and numbs his cold toes. Is that right? As over the river Frank goes. Over the river and through the woods. From Frank's house they go. The dogs know the way to carry the sleigh in the white, packed in drift snow. Over the river and through the woods, oh how the wind does blow. It stings the nose and bites the toes as over the river we go. Shall we play that one? Should I give them some birdseed? That means I have to go in the other place and get the feeder. I could take you with me to get the feeder, but you'll die and then you might not come back. Or I could just leave you here for a moment to watch to listen to the breeze. Oh man, this is so nice here. I love my home. You know, it really is a sacrifice to go on a service mission. I mean, it's also a lot of fun. It's an interesting possibilities, right? Anything is possible. I may have to learn to do this. I may learn to do that. I may interact with this child. I may make really good friends with somebody. I may find a kindred spirit among all those campers, all the leaders from all over this whole area, the whole Ontario almost. All of these groups are going to have leaders, young women leaders, that come to camp. And then there'll be all these girls, and the girls will be 14 to 18, I think. You know, and here I am. I don't know, maybe I'll be playing my violin in the morning before I go down to our prayer meeting. That would really be good to do when there's campers there. To play some really, really pleasing hymns. You know, hymns and folk music. But you don't want it to be so, you don't want to annoy people. I think that's the reason only church members and friends of church members can camp there. Families and friends of church members. And I think that's because out in the world there, you can get a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we don't drink and smoke and do drugs and have loud parties. We'll have parties, you know, but they're not going to be boisterous and loud and, you know, like the stuff you encounter at the provincial park or state parks. You know? If I move forward, I could see what you're saying. I love shadows. Have you ever noticed that? Look at the shadows under this tree. You can tell that we're playing the violin, can't you? This is how we play the violin. Yep, this is a music concert. Okay, let's see what's been said. Oh, look, everybody's been here. It looks so bright and sunny there. Hi, Willem. This is Susan Ernst. Home is definitely where you're the happiest. I just wished I lived in the country. I bought a home in town. Ugh. I remember when it was the news, there was non-believers. I remember when it was on the news, there were non-believers. That's why the Amish and Mennonites still live together, and their parents, around here anyway. Yeah, the non-believers. But many people have just not found the truth yet. Many people are kept from the knowledge of the truth because they know not where to find it. Ask me. I'll tell you more. I love it here. There's absolutely no pressure. Zero. There's absolutely nothing I have to do except go to the doctor's office. You know, that's a big change. You know, I really had nothing I had to do. Every day I could do absolutely whatever I wanted. So I would go day after day and fill up my trailer with manure. I could go for walks in the woods. I could build grass huts. I could have projects. I could make work projects. I could have my kids over. I could go play with the grandchildren. Oh, you lost me? Am I back yet? Okay then. I'll go start another one over. It seems like you're still there. 11:24, and it is, what is the time here? To check the time. But other than that, are we good? Okay, if we've lost you, then I might as well just get up and go get the bird feeder. Oh, you're still here, Suze. Okay. Perhaps her internet is not as good. This is my compost thing. I wonder whatever happened with it. I should use that tea. No, for the garden. Jeepers. Where do you come up with these ideas? Want to see everything, how beautiful it is here? Look at how green it is. And look at the tree. Isn't it beautiful? Wonder if it's got those little eggs on it. Tweet, tweet, tweet. I'm coming. Don't see any little eggs on them. Well, that's good. They'll just be catapulting in. Isn't it lovely? Look, isn't it beautiful? Ah, I just love it. And there's no pressure. I can do whatever I want. Is this a lightning bug? Hi, lightning bug. Let's see if you're purple, yellow on the other side. I don't think it is a lightning bug. Do you? Don't lightning bugs have those are this is from gardening, you see? Look, it proves I did something. Ha 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 ha. Oh, can you imagine what these leaves are going to smell like? The oxygen on them? Oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. Put your nose. Stop waving around. Blowing all the oxygen off. Wait a minute, stop. I don't smell it quite as much on there, but the whole place is beautiful. Look at that. Oh my gosh, how different from when there's just sticks. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, there's nothing better than to lay on your back and look up at the trees. Why don't I do that? Oh, the ticks. You should get a big blanket that's big enough that if you lay on the blanket in the woods and you look up, if the ticks start climbing around, they have to go all the way around the blanket to get you. Of course, if they fall on you. I'm going to talk about that. Shh. No talking about that. Look at this one. Oh my goodness, my poor studio. It's not finished. I haven't taken care of it. There's a leak right here somewhere, and there's another leak somewhere here because there's a under here. This doesn't have a proper floor, right? You've been talking to trees since you could talk. Yeah, they're nice, aren't they? They've got a spirit. You know, there was a book Willem read, and it was something about psychic experiences on the other side of the Iron Curtain. Remember when there was an Iron Curtain? Do you think these are dying because of their conditions, or do you think they're dying because they're done? I don't know. See, these have been having flowers. I don't know. There's a bunch of flowers that fell off. Hey, you want to see? Oh, look at this. Isn't it beautiful? And you're still here. What's going on? Have we got better reception now? Maybe somebody changed the cell tower. That one down there. Teacher. Oh, diddaloot. 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 It's a vireo. It's probably a warbling vireo. But if you get an app, you can listen to the app while you listen to this video and you would know. Yeah, but it's still not last yet. The last frost is June the 1st. I put one out the other day and it's dead up there now. So look at this. Now, I don't know what the Phoebe way is for building a nest, but look at what they did. So they see it's kind of messy up there? And here too? It's like they were trying to put the mud on and it wouldn't stick. And finally they found a place where it would stick. So they built the rest of the nest there. Isn't that interesting? And the parents, obviously nobody's in it right now. You would see a little tail sticking out. But the parents are always right here now. They're in these nearby branches. If you come out on the deck, that's where they'll stay for a while. Hey, this is bent. Not supposed to be a bent tree. Well, maybe it would be nice to have a bent tree. Yeah, fill this in out here a little more. Okay, you can be a bent tree then. I want to put you right there. Part has got, there we go. Now you can stay there. And then this one, when I pull it out, it can come out and be a branch out here. Look at the shadows. Aren't shadows wonderful? What do you think of when you see these shadows? Nobody ever talks about shadows. Shadows from trees. They're so beautiful. Look at them. Doesn't it make it feel inviting? Seeing those shadows? I mean, compare it to that. I mean, I have this beautiful serene lake down here, pond, but there's no shadows anywhere around. You see? Whereas here we have so many shadows. I wonder if there's songs written about watching the shadows. Shadows usually talks about something else. The shadows of darkness in my life. Blah, 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 blah. Da, 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 da. Never to die. I guess that's true. Music won't die because what's created is created. You can't uncreate something that's been created. That would not follow the rules of heaven. So just standing here, this is in his way, I'm sorry. It's almost intoxicating, you know, to smell that oxygen. So what are we going to do? Ah, yes, we were going to get a bird feeder. things shall perish. You know, I was thinking that my videos, if they happen to be useful. Oh, you're having rain there, Susan. This is a really old one. Where's that other one that I had? I can feed these guys. I took one away. Have you seen my other bird feeder? I did take two. That's true. Look, shadows. Shadows of the evening fall. No, that's not the right thing. You find rainy days are comforting, eh? I have to be in a peaceful place, like spiritually. If I'm in a peaceful place, I'm okay. You know, Maya was trying to sort of put this right where my swing was, right in front of my swing the other day. So what if I put it there and I have her swing is the swing now? How about that? There you go, Miss Maya. Guess this one got put out too, and it was too early. What did I find here? This was the squash that looks like it's still trying to live. Anyway. So that needs some grape jelly. And this needs some suet. Did I have one? Did I put one in the house? I have that one, but this is safflower seeds, which is not the right thing. And the lid won't close. I get the stuff my son is done with, which is so cool because he is done with. Oh, you're back. I thought after a moment, oh, here I am, having this whole little party all by myself. That one needs to be replaced. Isn't that a great ball? What an interesting thing to make. You know, I've seen balls that are covered with lights. These need to be. Oh, that's that one broken. That's broken off. I made this. Did you know that? I even took a course. Hey, that's almost horizontal. That's probably right. She says it's a week away. It's a soft opening. She's just a few people. Now, did I put it in here? Nope. Just lots of wool. How about out there? I'll take along my walker. Then I can sit if I feel like it. Oh, isn't it lovely? Let's just sit here for a moment. I think that's probably wet. But even though it looks horrible, it is so soft. It's amazing. Oh, wow. Oh, this is nice. Thanks for coming along. This is good. I should bring my violin out. You can only do one thing at a time, but not me. I can multitask. I do everything a little bit. And eventually I'm done. But I'm really doing one thing at a time. Like I'm really talking to you now. And when I'm playing the violin, I'm really only playing the violin. I'm not talking to you or thinking about you. I'm really playing the violin. Then when I'm getting birdseed, I'm really thinking about getting birdseed. So what does that mean? Multitasking. So maybe there is no such thing as you can't think about two different things at the same time, but you can What's making that noise? I guess I gotta move the chain a little bit. It must be stuck on the board. This is a nice swing. Okay. There we go. If I tilt it. I like this swing because you can also lay down in it. It's not as long as it should be really for laying down. But it's pretty good. But you know, thinking about how my life has changed to having responsibilities was really a different life. I had no idea what I was giving up. This is a huge sacrifice. It's good. I'm glad to do it. It's really good for me. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to have a lot of good experiences, and I'm going to have probably a couple bad experiences, and I'm going to, I used to be able to pick up things with my toes, and now just trying to move my feet so that they go the right way. Oh, here's our bird. He's on this tree. Where is he? It's gonna make you sick. Okay, so from there to there, in that dark spot, right in the leaves, it's a phoebe. Oh, he moved. No more getting lost in the woods. I know. I like getting lost in the woods. I like the adrenaline rush of having to figure out where I am. How do I get myself out of this situation? Oh no, man overboard. That was me. It's kind of fun. I don't try to get myself in situations like that. But when I find myself in situations like that, I don't really see it as a bad thing. Isn't that interesting? Like to not see that as a bad thing. Like, so the B plan B is always okay. You can't really be attached to plan A. Plan A comes and it goes, and somewhere it's made up in the mind of someone. Sometimes it's all figured out why it works exactly perfectly. You could tell I liked what? Oh, getting lost in the woods. Yes. Yes, and when I fall down with I'll be snowshoeing or something, and when you pick up your snowshoe, sometimes there's too much snow on it. Sometimes it's got 8 inches of snow on top of it, which just fell in when you put it in. It pushed it all down, but then, and if you, or no, right when you push it down, it doesn't have anything in on it, but when you move forward, and if you haven't picked your foot up all the way and put it on top of the snow, then you're putting it forward into the snow. Anyway, and so you end up tripping because you get 8 inches of snow on top of your snowshoe and your momentum, blah, blah, blah. And down you go. The best thing to do then, your feet are a little twisted up because your snowshoes are any which way. See, the other shoe is now, so if one snowshoe, the back snowshoe is stuck in the snow, right? You're walking ahead on a path or something, and one foot is stuck into the snow, and the other foot you lift it up. Oh, you lift it up and put it down, and then when you go to pick up that foot with the snow on it, you topple forward, or you catch yourself and you go in a different direction, and so then you've got these two snowshoes that one of them is still stuck in the snow and the other one is in another angle because you didn't necessarily fall. You may have fallen forward. So now your snowshoes, think of, you're now kneeling on the snow if you get up. And how easy is that to do? And to get up from that position, I find the best thing to do when you fall down in the snow is to roll over on your back, get your feet, shake your feet, wiggle them, and try and get them out of the snow. and you lay on your back on the snow, and you get one foot out and you put it up in the air overhead. And then you drop it down so the point goes straight down in the snow. And now your foot is a couple feet in the air, still connected to your snowshoe. And so now you're resting. Not only are you resting when you're tired and you've just had this thing happen, not only are you recovering and resting, but you've got one foot up. So then, wherever the other foot is, you may have had to on that too, but it's often tangled behind the first foot because it's still in the motion of going. Somehow it gets, and so it's usually tangled back there. But once you put one foot up in the air, then you can wiggle around and do the other one. And then when you're on your back, what is conversation? Eh? When you're on your back in the snow, and you can put both feet up in the air, and then you can bring them down so they poke into the ground. Each one pokes in and into the snow. And then you just lay there with your legs up. Now, Nancy, sit down, put your legs up. Put your feet up, Nancy. No, you must take a break, Nancy. You have to sit down, put your feet up. That's what my mother always said. Because she had a bad back, and putting her feet up really helped her back. And, of course, it helps mine, too. Look at those trees. Isn't that a beautiful colored green? We don't see this color for very long. This is the very first color. Some of these leaves are still hanging limp. It's like butterfly wings. When the butterfly hatches, he pulls his wing out, and you see him pulling his wing out, and it's all just dripping. It's just a little drip. It's like a brown, limp rag. Very thin and delicate, but it just looks like a glob. And then he just waits, and I think he shakes them. Does he shake them? Yeah, I think he does. I think he tries to move them a bit, and then they fill up. It's like pumping action, I guess. If that's right, I might not be right. Would not have been the first time. No, really, it's true. I have made mistakes. It's called life. I've made more than you have. I've made more than you have. You see, you're really ahead. Did you make a mistake? Did you figure it out? Okay, go to the head of the line. The head of the class. Because once you've made a mistake, you've learned from it and you won't forget it. You've learned from actually physically being in there and doing it. What a wonderful thing that is. Our stored memories. I know what it's like to have my finger hit by a hammer. I know many things that won't work to try and make your finger not have to get hit. I have, there's gloves, and I think the best thing is something like pliers and at a distance, But anyway, I've learned many things about hammering in a nail because of all the times they've gone in crooked. I remember when I was young, my nails went in halfway, and it was just the way I did it was to bend the nails over. I have a little table here that I made when I was a little girl. It was going to be my religious table. It was going to have a cross and the picture of the Savior above it, or maybe just the picture. Anyway, but so I made it when I was little. That's interesting that I was interested in spiritual things when I was young. We don't change much, Have you noticed that? Like, in your whole life, your personality is pretty much who you are. And I think that, since we've always lived, I think that our personality we've had this personality forever, like for millions and millions and millions of years. And so that won't really change. But the things that will change are the things that are negative about us, or the things that are positive. If we work on them, like we work on getting rid of the negative things about ourselves, like talking all the time. Hello? Anybody do that? And we try and get rid of these things about ourselves, like complaining or getting irritated when they don't drive the way we want them to drive. There's so many things we're attached to, you know, like it's my way or the highway. You drive the way I like you to drive. You see, there's always room for improvement. Never a day goes by without room for improvement. Boy, that should be my middle name. Nancy Room for Improvement today. What do you think? I still don't have my tag yet. I like the tags. They're black and it'll say Sister Nancy and it'll have my real name because they won't put today on there, but I don't think. But Sister Nancy, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You know, when you talk about taking the name of the Savior upon yourself, what did I say that you were laughing at? If it wasn't, I can't even remember what I said because I read this, and so that just completely took away everything before it. It's called Old Timers. You can hear the Phoebe. You hear Phoebe. Boy, there's a lot of birds, aren't there? Ouch. What did I do? I relaxed my toe and I scuffed it on the bottom. It's fun to come home. Boy, it's fun to be here. You know, I think that you take for granted what you have until you go away, and especially something like camping. And we've only had 2 rainy days. But you know, it's a job. It's like you're busy. You know, 9 o'clock is prayer meeting. So if you want to do something on your own, it has to be before 9 in the morning. And then we're just doing for the camp. You know, we're figuring out how to fill this dispenser for soap or the toilet paper rolls, or how, you know, cleaning up the sticks and where the paths are. I got some tape to do some more on the tape. But you know, my back does not allow me to live like that. Like if I'm just at home hanging out, wandering around talking to you and looking at the pretty scenery, well, my back doesn't hurt too much. I'm pretty good. But if I try to do stuff, like I don't have the low back pain anymore. That was really bad. Then you really couldn't bend over. That was hard. It's the upper back pain. There's a spot right in the center of your shoulder blades. And I looked it up to see what causes it, and you know, it's also a horrible symptom of many important things, which of course everyone will run and think, oh, that's me, but really it's probably not, so why bother? But anyway, I think it comes from your shoulders being hunched too far forward. I think that's what's doing it, because the remedy is to put your elbow against a door frame and leave it there, and you continue to walk through the doorway, so it's giving you a nice pull. Don't walk all the way through the doorway. That would not work. That would just, you know what that would happen. Goodbye, shoulder. Look at that beautiful greenery with the sun on it. You know, it's interesting. Used to be, I had to always be in the sun. I always had to be in the sun, and if it was sunny out, I couldn't be in the house if it was sunny out. But something's changed about me. And now I can sit here in the shade and just be happy in the shade without having to be in the sun. You know, I think playing with my grandson, he likes to play Minecraft. Oh, we're gonna have to go. Yeah, we have to be there at 1:30, so we've still got, we have to leave in about 10 minutes. Well, I like talking to you. I wonder if there will be a Nancy the day before yesterday. Maybe. Hey, you know what? In my live journal, I was looking at it yesterday, and there's 29,000 entries. Isn't that a lot of entries? 29,000 entries. You see, some people are just fortunate because I have a journal and they don't have to hear me say every single thing that comes into my head. You, however, don't have that You don't have that protection. Oh, yes, that's good. That's rich, as my mother would say. No, rich wasn't a good thing. She would say, "Oh, Nancy, that's rich." Or maybe it was. I guess the way it was said was sort of um, it's a kind of humor, right? Like dry humor, or saying something that you really mean that you probably shouldn't say. How would you say it? You know, when somebody says someone and someone else says, "That's wow, that's rich." What does that mean? What is the definition of it? That's rich. Is it ironic? Or look, I found more burdock. I love my fleeces. I just love my life here. It's good to be home. Gee, it's good to be back home. Home is where I wanna be. Oh, we gotta go. Okay, so it's been fun, hasn't it? But I think the time has come. On the sun. No. Yeah, I like playing that when the sun is setting. Sometimes I don't have any talking left in me. Especially, I guess, the pain. You know, pain puts pressure on your talking. Bye, Suze. Goodbye, Susan. I saw a lady in a crafting live. Her name was Nancy Tomorrow. I was wondering if she wanted the name Nancy today, but it was already taken. Oh, now I'm going to have to go see who she is. There was my neighbor. He was starting to call himself Nancy something. I forget what his name was. He was on one of those chats when I was upstairs. Hi, Willem. We have to go. Party's over. Oh, he's not in here. He's out. Uh-oh. Why does this say burn? Can't say burn. That is not allowed. We're going to remove that from the... So I guess it didn't cook all the way. Oops, because I thought it was going to burn. It does nice things like turn off if it's burn time. Aren't I a great cook? Look at this yucky mess. Oh, Nancy, that's rich. Rich coming from you. You don't have room to talk. Oh, that's rich. That's what that means. I guess hypocritical. I don't think that slimy stuff is supposed to be in there. Oh no, look. It got through my serious removal system. Willem! Oh, he's not here. He's over at the thing. We must go. We must go. What time is it? It is 12 o'clock. Oh, wait a minute. It's only 12 o'clock. I don't have to be there until... Oh, that's good. We've got lots of time. I have to be there at 1:30, so I have an hour and a half. That's good. Now how's that look? Better, better. We could eat some of it. Should we cook it anymore? Like, these things look like they're a lot... Well, that went on the floor. Well, that's a fine how do you do. That's what my mother would say. That's a fine how do you do. We were going to feed the birds. And all this time, oh, that's in the pot is I wonder if everybody hung up. It's my favorite yellow squash. What's it called? Buttercup squash. A little Jamaican curry powder in it, and some dehydrated onions and a dollop of garlic. Oh, and a pile of lentils. Okay, so do you think any of the birds will eat this? I mean, this was for the turkeys. It was supposed to be corn, but that's not corn, that's barley. Oats, peas, beans, and barley grow. Oats, peas, beans, and barley grow. Whether your mother will... There, I fed them. Is that Charlie? I mean, no, that wouldn't be Charlie, that would be Sammy. Is that Charlie? I mean, no, that wouldn't be Charlie, that would be Sammy. Let's turn it around. Hi, Sammy. Did you want some food? Hi, Sammy. Hi, Sammy. Or is that a worm-eating warbler? That clicking, that sounds like a red squirrel, don't you think? Must be Sammy. Sammy! Dinner time! Stop yelling at everybody and come eat. Sammy? Look, a nest. Is this a new one? And look, these are doing this. You can eat these. It's like an infusion of strong lemon. Something very lemon limeish. I don't see any other nests, do you? Nope. They're going to be where you can't see. If there's a part of the tree that no matter how you turn around, you can't see it, like maybe right in there. No matter which way you go, that's the place the nest is going to be. I know so many things, don't I? I've had a lot of experience living life. Bet you have too. The older you get, you've had a whole year more experiences. Hi, Susan. I'm glad you're still here. Because I forgot about closing down. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, look, the trilliums. There's so many trilliums at the camp, eh? You like being there? It's kind of nice, but I must say, the comforts of home are really awesome. This is a nice little berm in here. Oh, those are teepee poles he gave me. 1, 2, 3, and then that one I think is something that I had. If those are the ones, or that's the one up there he put. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's check out the teepee. Look at this. Who has a teepee in their yard? Who has teacups in their trail? And doesn't change the size of the screw, just lets them fall off and she picks them up again. Something soft in there. Got a lot of weeds. Do I want to weed it? No. Should I weed it? Yes. It's looking very dark, probably because it's in the sun. Let's go in here. Oh my, look, somebody's been cutting off the branches. Up there. Why would he cut those off? So, this doesn't have hinges yet, does it? Is it all black now? Is the screen all black? Ah, it looks yucky. I don't like it to look yucky. Look at that, I've got leaves falling in here. All this nature arriving. You're supposed to stay out on the other side of the window. Oh, you're way too close. Look at that. This is the chair we're looking at. Just in case you wondered what this brown is. I love having campfires in the teepee, but trying to make myself go and do it, it's a lot of work. Oh, this has got firewood in it. Aha. And this has got a cord. Violining and other distractions. There, that looks much better. Now I can sit in this very nice chair. Would you like to see out the windows? Isn't that great, having windows? That one has another layer partially put up over it. What am I going to do about that layer? I have to make a decision. Is that the one I'm cutting? No, this is another layer. Okay, so the another layer is not getting cut. Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm glad your back feels better, Susan. Oh my gosh. Backs are just something else, aren't they? This is a really nice place in here. It's a little damp now that I've got a door on there. The second layer should probably come off. I was thinking of taking it and making a teepee over there, but I don't think I really need it. So it's nice in here. That window needs to be cut, and that does too. No, it doesn't. That has another tarp on there that shouldn't be there. Let's see if we can give it a yank and have it come falling down. Wow, it's so lush. Spring is a beautiful time. Okay, so there it is. Oh wait, I did cut it. Oh yuck. Phoebe. Phoebe. This one's sort of saying Fuzzbee though, isn't he? Now to get this one down, that's going to be a lot of engineering. Let's look at this. This is my little forest beside the house. There's a white-eyed vireo down there, I think. That sounds more like Fuzzbee than Phoebe. There he is. He's right. He's on that second branch, I believe. There he is. Is that right? I know, it is just like the camp. is Ontario. That bag needs picking up. This railing is going to go back on, or it's going to be rebuilt. Oh, there's a butterfly up there. Now, somebody was asking about bloodroot. This is bloodroot. That's bloodroot. See? So, which bird are you meaning? There's a warbling vireo and a white vireo and a red-eyed vireo. And the red-eyed vireo says, "What are you doing?" "Oh, just that." "What are you doing?" "Oh, just that." "What are you doing?" "Oh, just that." It asks a question and answers it all day long. But the warbling vireo has a little warble that it repeats a lot. Yeah, the phoebe. That was the phoebe we were looking at. And the phoebes say that all day, and they build nests like up under there. Very typical. That's where they love to go, is under a roof, an overhang. What a nice house. Look at how pretty it is. Getting dark. It's supposed to get dark. It's not supposed to stay bright and fancy. It's getting weathered. Except, I guess, this very red pressure treated little piece of woods right here, isn't it? Like from the deck. This is very easily accessible. It's right beside the teepee. This deck is rather large and spacious. And you know, it's really, I mean, it's good for stuff like something for hot summer sun. Like if you want to play, the screen looks very dark. I think it's just not, it's not adjusting to it. I think I'm going to do the long. Oh, but I really am enjoying resting. Not doing anything important. The battery is charging. Well, shall we play a little violin again? Or is it black? It's very dark. The screen is not bright. Is it still very black? All right, so. Oh yeah, I did give the bird something. It's not sunflower seeds though. He probably only likes sunflower seeds though. You know, I have so many videos out there now that you could really do a psychological case study from all those videos. You've got enough samples from enough parts of life to really be able to do a study. It's only on one person, one individual, but you would have enough information there. And then on top of that, there's the 29,000 entries in my live journal. Or is it 28? Anyways, a lot of them. If you were to go through that and study those 29,000 entries and those, I don't know, 19,000 videos, 20,000 videos, you would really understand this person very well. You know, I should do that. I should see what I'm like. I should learn who I am. I should see my subconscious. See it right there on the nose, plain as the nose on your face. That's why we don't like looking at our movies, because we don't want to know what our subconscious is looking like, what it's up to. We can see it in other people, and so if you watch a video about yourself, you can see it in yourself then. But do we really want to know? Sometimes you just get so embarrassed, real embarrassment. Deep, deep embarrassment. Like you want to hide under a rock and don't want anybody to ever find you. Like that sometimes when I watch my videos, I get really deep embarrassment at who I am, who I come across as. Sometimes it's a lot of good. It's very interesting and sometimes there's good jokes. Sometimes things are funny, and sometimes I think she looks at a lot of details all around her. Nancy today, that's who I'm talking about. She looks at the leaves, and she looks at the bugs, and the grasses, and the plants. And she cuts she cuts the grass, but not too much. She doesn't want to take any plants away. She puts in posts with teacups on top. Who do you talk about that you can say all that about? Not the mowing, that's normal. But who makes teacups and puts them all over on these posts? Who thinks of things like that? You know? And where are they? I'd like to meet them. I think that's you guys. I think that these videos have found you guys somehow in the algorithms of the things you like to do and look for, and the chaotic life that you like to watch, which is my life, of course. But it's an old woman, like it's a grandmother spouting off words of wisdom, right? It's all the things I've learned through life, which is really like, I mean, there could be a manual on how to be a grandma from the things that the wisdom that I have discovered, or wisdom doesn't just come to you. Wisdom is like the prize you get after you mess up. It's the consolation prize, really, is wisdom. And if you don't mess up, you don't get wisdom. Isn't that an interesting concept? Wisdom is a consolation prize for messing up, for making mistakes. I like that. That's a good one. I wonder if you're there, or if it's gone black and you can't see anything. It'd be nice if you could. This is kind of fun. Let's check and see if you're here. All right. That's my thumb. Something's here. Oh, we have 5 people here. Oh, hello. Okay, you can see. That was good. Mary's wedding song, please. My favorite, wink, wink. Ellen must be busy in her garden. I agree, Nancy. I wanted to meet women who I've met here. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I remember how I found you, Nancy. It was your weaving that brought me to you. Isn't that interesting how it all works? It's like divine design. Like, there's some people that, like if you believe in divine design, that the Lord, He, He can, He can do anything, but He can cause circumstances, all the unknown circumstances, the things that you don't know is going to happen, or maybe if you do know, these unknown circumstances where the road is detoured, for instance, which then leads you over here and you're standing next to the sign man and you talk to the person with the sign. This is driving, right? I can't remember what I was saying. That was weird. Well, anyway, yes, I could play that. That would be nice. I think my mind is getting old. My eyes are, my ears are, my body is, my back definitely is. You know, all the pain I was having, the shin splints and the pain with my feet, everything was bothering my feet, and I just couldn't really walk much because my feet and legs they hurt so much. It wasn't a real hurt, but it was annoying. So maybe a 4. And sometimes it would get up past and would be 5 or 6, where it was, you really didn't want to walk on it. I mean, it wasn't ever a 10 where didn't even have to walk on it to make it feel bad. So I think that's what gout is like, isn't it? I'm just having a little conversation with myself here. I hope we're having fun. Okay, so Mari's wedding. I would really like to know if I'm playing it right. And I would like to know the words, because once you know the words of a song, you have total power over that song. It's amazing what knowledge does, you know? Knowledge is very important. Education is very important. Even if you don't ever use it again. I think just the process of learning things you don't want to learn, or the process of delving into what you do love. I love doing research. I really loved research papers. That was my love. But of course, I didn't go into science. But you see, psychology, I went into psychology. So what do you think about Nancy Today videos and Nancy Today Live Journal? And together, what kind of a snapshot? If this is this is my book of remembrance, really, isn't it? It's like, you get a book and you write down who my dad was, who my mom was, and what was my best childhood experience, and what was a toy I used to play with, and who were my friends at school, and what did I like best at school. And you go through their life doing that, right? Oh, you have a psych degree too. Oh, cool. Well, I don't have, I lack 2 courses. I have a BAA. That's a BA almost. I haven't finished yet. I could do that. I could finish, but I can't finish while I'm doing this camp thing. We drop in bed at night like, the only way I could relate to how tired I was at the end of a day. I mean, it's really not a comparison at all. I mean, it's just a tiny bit, but the only other comparison I could find was it called Uncle Sam's Cottage or Cabin? It was a slave and his experiences in slavery. Hey, it's looking like summer. Uncle Tom's Cabin, that's what it was. And the way they were worked to the bone. They were worked until they couldn't go anymore. And Nanby says, I have a music degree and my birthday is November, so watch out. Lol, ha ha ha, kidding. A music degree and November. I don't know what the connection is. I'm slow, I think. Suze has a psych degree and Nanby has a music degree. Wow. Yeah, Nambi, did we ever send you Willem's music? You were the one that